Okay, guys, today we are looking at how to draw the menstrual cycle. Now, you're going to see this again in front of you, and really what we're doing here is we're representing a graph of the thickness of the endometrium wall. So, it's actually very straightforward, but I just wanted to go through it anyway, just to make sure that this is okay for you. So you draw your two axes, okay? We have an x-axis and a y-axis. Down the bottom, the x-axis represents time in days, okay? Because remember, this is a 28-day cycle. When you're drawing this as well, remember the vertical axis is going to be representing either the thickness of the uterus or the thickness of the endometrium. So if you're thinking, what's the endometrium is the lining of the uterus. Now, when you're drawing this graph, it's important to bear in mind how there are significant days on this menstrual cycle. So the significant days would be days 1 to 5, where menstruation is occurring, days 14, where ovulation is occurring, and also probably days 22, where if fertilization has happened or not, changes will happen. So you can see here anyway, starting off, I have drawn in, I found the middle of that line and represented that as day 14. And at the end of that line, it's going to be representing 28. So you just want a rough interval between them, which is equal. The next thing then, if you think about it, we want to try to find day 5 on this x-axis. So if you found the halfway point there between 0 and 14, it's 7. So the 5 would come somewhere before that, so you can write in 5 before that. The next day, as I said, you want to find is day 22, because at day 22, in the menstrual cycle, if fertilization has not occurred, then the endometrium will start to break down again. Okay, so remember the halfway point there between 14 and 28 is 21, and 22 again will come after 21. So think about this now again. The menstrual cycle is something that repeats, and what happens is that at the start, menstruation occurs, which is the breaking down of the endometrium, and it starts to tear away. So what you want to do next is you want to represent a line that is going to go downwards towards day 5. So it's sharply decreasing to day 5. But from that point onwards, up until day 22, it is also increasing. So it's sharply increasing again, back to roughly the same amount. And I'm just going to pause there, roughly the same kind of thickness as it was, on day 0. And at day 22, you can see there that it has decreased there again because fertilization has not occurred. If I was to draw we'll say cellular structures above this graph to represent, key events, what I would be doing here, remember at day 5 at the ovary, the follicle stimulating hormone has caused the immature egg cell and follicle to mature. At day 14, I would represent a cell that has a Graafian follicle that's left behind with an egg cell that has been released. And at day 22, what's happening at the ovary? Well, you just have something called a corpus luteum left behind that's kind of dying away because it's basically no longer needed. So that's it, guys. That is the menstrual cycle and how you draw it anyway. And next we'll look at the hormones.